If you think basil is just basil, I want to completely change the way you see this plant because there are so many different varieties and they all taste different, grow different, and have completely different uses in the kitchen. And once you understand these differences, you can start choosing the right basil for your garden, your climate, and even the type of meals you love to cook. If you're new here, my name is Jara. I'm a lifelong gardener, permaculture designer, and I own a seed and plant nursery in Orlando, Florida. My mission is to help home gardeners grow more food by sharing the exact plants, techniques, and industry secrets I use every day in both my garden and my nursery. If you want to grow along with me, many of the seeds and plants I mentioned are available on my website, jarasgarden.com. Most people start with what we call Italian sweet basil. And this is that classic basil flavor you probably are familiar with. It's mild, slightly sweet, and perfect for things like pasta sauces, pesto, and fresh salads. But then you have Genovese basil, which is actually considered the gold standard for pesto. It has a stronger, more aromatic flavor than regular sweet basil, and the leaves are usually a little more textured. If you love making homemade pesto, this is the one you want to grow. Now, when it comes to leaf size, you might hear people talk about large leaf basil versus lettuce leaf basil, and these are really interesting. Large leaf basil is great for cooking because it gives you a lot of leaf mass, but lettuce leaf basil takes it even further. The leaves are huge, soft, and almost crinkled like lettuce, which makes them perfect for wrapping or layering into fresh dishes. Then you have something like Greek columnar basil, which grows in a completely different way. Instead of spreading out, it grows upright and compact, almost like a little column. This makes it perfect for small spaces or containers, and it has a very concentrated, strong flavor. And then there's a bunch of different kinds of basils that are named after the flavor that they remind everyone of. An example is this one right here. This one is lemon basil. For the most part, these types of basils fall under the Thai basil category. If you've ever grown Thai basil and the regular Italian basil, you may have noticed that besides difference in flavor, the Thai basils, for the most part, their stems are kind of succulent looking. They don't get as woody and hard as like the Italian types of basils. Lemon basil and lime basil both bring a citrus twist, but they're not exactly the same. Lemon basil has a bright, fresh citrus flavor that works really well in teas, seafood, dishes, and even some desserts. In my opinion, the smell and flavor of lemon basil is like lemongrass. So if you don't have enough space to grow a huge lemongrass bush, grow lemon basil instead. Lime basil is a little more sharper and tangy, and it pairs really well with savory dishes, especially anything with a tropical or Southeast Asian flavor. And yes, I do think the flavor is very similar to limes. And then this one right here, this one is called cinnamon basil. It looks a lot like Thai basil because it has some purplish hued flowers and stems. Cinnamon basil surprises people a lot because it has a warm, slightly spicy flavor with hints of cinnamon, and it's amazing in teas, baked goods, and even just mixed into fruit dishes. I especially love to mix roasted fall types of root vegetables or sweet potatoes with cinnamon basil. So right next to my cinnamon basil, I have a bunch of regular Thai basil growing in here. It's a little hard to see because I have this massive Italian basil growing right next to it. But let's talk about the Thai basil category specifically. So regular Thai basil has a very distinct flavor that's slightly spicy, a little bit like licorice or anise. It holds up really well to heat, which makes it perfect for stir fries and curries. If you garden in a subtropical or a tropical climate, Thai basil is one of the best herbs for growing during the summer. It withstands the intense heat and sun, while regular Italian basils generally start struggling. And let's move to another garden bed. Let's look at this beautiful Siam Queen Thai basil. So this variety is an improved variety of Thai basil. It has a stronger, more complex flavor and much larger leaves. The burgundy frilly flowers it produces are also really pretty in the garden. Now, when it comes to color, purple basil varieties are not just beautiful, they also have a slightly different flavor profile. This one over here is dark opal basil. It's been around for a long time and it has a deeper, slightly spicier flavor compared to green basil. And this one right here is opalescent basil. It has more of a mix of green and purple, which makes it really ornamental but still very usable in the kitchen. And really, you can't tell much of a difference between the dark opal and the opalescent. And moving to another garden bed, I have this basil right here. This one is called Red Reuben. It is a hybrid. It was developed to have deeper color and better flavor than some of the older purple varieties that I just showed you. It's more vibrant, more consistent, and still gives you a very bold basil type of taste. I do feel that this dark purple color holds up much better in the sun because when purple purple basils are exposed to the sun, they can kind of lose the purple color and turn more like on the green side. But I feel like the red Reuben hybrid definitely holds on to that dark purple color much better than the other varieties. Now let's talk about something that's completely different from all of these, and that's holy basil. Holy basil, also known as tulsi, is not really grown for the same reasons as culinary basil. It has a much more medicinal history and is often used in teas and herbal remedies. The flavor is stronger, more clove-like, and a little bit peppery. It's not something you're typically going to use in pesto, but it's an incredible plant to grow if you're interested in herbal uses. The leaves of holy basil are edible, but I prefer the other types of basil I mentioned for consumption instead. They just have a much more pleasant flavor and texture. And then there's one basil I always recommend to every gardener, especially if you want to support pollinators, and that's African blue basil. This is hands down one of the best plants you can grow to attract bees. In my garden, it is constantly covered in pollinators. It's technically edible, but it's not usually grown for culinary purposes because the flavor is a little more intense and camphor-like. But for your garden ecosystem, this plant is absolutely amazing. African blue basil is a perennial plant in warm climates where it doesn't get cold enough to kill it during the wintertime. It is also sterile, meaning it doesn't produce seed. Therefore, you can't grow it from seeds. You can only grow it if propagated from another plant. It is kind of a hard thing to find, and I do have plants on my nursery website depending on the time of year. One thing I always tell beginner gardeners is don't limit yourself to just one type of basil. Once you start growing a few different varieties, you not only expand your garden, but you expand your cooking and your flavors. I have a lot of recipes that use all of these types of basils over on my second YouTube channel called Jera's Fresh Kitchen. I'll link them all in the description to give you all some inspiration. And especially in warm climates, basil thrives, it grows fast, it's forgiving, and it gives you so much in return. So this is one of those plants where you can really experiment and have fun with it. If you've only ever grown one type, I really encourage you to try growing something new this season. If this video was helpful, please give it a big thumbs up and subscribe so you don't miss any of my gardening tutorials. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, happy gardening.